From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 8th, 2025. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Mike Waltz arrived in Israel today after several days in Jordan. Part of a visit, the U.S. mission to the UN said that underscores the U.S.'s commitment to advancing regional stability and implementing President Trump's 20-point plan regarding Gaza. Waltz met today in Jerusalem with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other officials, and this evening met with the parents of Master Sergeant Ron Gvili, the last hostage whose remains are being held in Gaza by terror group Hamas, where the Prime Minister said Waltz expressed the U.S. obligation as well as Waltz's own to complete the mission of returning the hostages and to returning Ron for a proper Jewish burial. Yesterday, Netanyahu met with visiting German Chancellor Friedrich Merz in Jerusalem on a number of issues, including, the Prime Minister said, the disarmament of Hamas and the demilitarization of Gaza. Merz met Saturday night with Israel's President Isaac Herzog, who emphasized as well that Hamas must be removed from Gaza and disarmed and release Ron Gvili. Merz reaffirmed to both Netanyahu and Herzog that Germany, he said, will always stand by your side. And the Chancellor met yesterday with released hostages, among them German citizens and their families, and also visited Yad Vashem, Israel's memorial to the Holocaust. President Herzog today is in New York City, taking part in the American Zionist Movement's Biennial National Assembly, which began yesterday and concludes this evening. The biennial this year is under the theme Zionism, Many Visions, One Dream, and brings together, the AZM writes, the leadership of the 54 national Jewish Zionist organizations that form the broad coalition of the AZM. Yesterday, President Herzog received an honorary doctorate from Yeshiva University in New York, calling it a great honor. Well, turning now to Toronto, where police are looking for information into, they wrote, a suspected hate-motivated theft, saying they received a report yesterday of multiple residents of an apartment building that had their mezuzahs stolen off of their doorposts, approximately 20 of them. Toronto City Councillor James Pasternak said all of the mezuzahs in the building, which houses senior citizens, were torn off in what he called an act of hate directed at Jewish residents. The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs in Canada said the time for words is over. Our political leaders at all levels must take action to protect the community. And B'nai B'rith Canada said this is yet another example of the consequences of the anti-Semitic environment that has been allowed to fester, vowing to continue to fight this and all hate. B'nai B'rith Canada also said it will be organizing a mezuzah drive where community members will be able to donate mezuzahs to the seniors. Well, Dancing with the Stars debuted its first ever Chanukah-inspired routine on the show last week, choreographed by Jewish dancer on the show Alan Burston, to the song Miracle by Matisyahu. Burston said in his intro to the routine, growing up Jewish, you don't really see a lot of Hanukkah representation. And he wrote that to be able to create a dance for Hanukkah on the biggest show on TV means the world to me.
Hopefully, Jewish kids watching this and they feel seen and they feel proud.
Candles on my vehicle, 8 nights, gonna shine invincible, no longer be divisible, born to the struggle, keep on moving through all this hustle. And listen, A-lights in these fights, keep me right and bless me to the highest heights with your miracle.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, December the 8th at 7 o'clock. On JLMinute, Alex Traiman and Josh Hasten break down the week's events in Israel. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with IsraAID CEO Yotam Polizer to discuss the NGO's global work and its role as Israel's largest humanitarian organization. At 9, Rabbi Aryeh Katzin is on the Chaim. At 10, Eric Goldman speaks with Nick Davis about his documentary, This Ordinary Thing, which uses never-before-seen footage and performances by Academy Award-winning actors to tell the stories of non-Jews who risked everything to shelter Jewish strangers during the Holocaust. At 10:30, an encore of the news, and coming up next, it's Good Week, Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 8th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.